it struck me he benefited himself from a few things. One, the assassination attempt, where obviously he was nearly killed, and he reacted in a way that was surprising, I think, even to those who knew him well. The show of defiance, the fight, the arm raised, I think was a very powerful symbol for him, and certainly would have been very, I think, influential in a lot of American minds, even if they didn't like him. They thought, you know what, this guy, he's a fighter. He showed courage literally under fire. Secondly, and I think, you may question this, but...
Guys, this is Piers Morgan and James Carville on the Democrat at the Meltdown.
What they've called the lawfare campaign against Trump. It wasn't so much the more serious stuff against him. It was the fact the first thing they took him to court over was such a pathetically trivial case, Stormy Daniels, and shuffling a bit of paperwork about a one-night stand 18 years before. For that to be the first time any American president had been taken through a criminal court and to then convict him over it, I felt was a catastrophic strategic failure. What was your view of that?
Well, let me take what happened. You're right. The Butler event, he showed real strength there, and was kind of what he was. So he had that. We had a catastrophic debate. We had a catastrophic nominating process. We nominated a person who actually turned out to be a little bit better candidate than I thought, which, I wouldn't think is going to be that much, who actually did favor taxpayer-funded transition surgery for prisoners, okay? Right. If you asked me to come up with something more unpopular than that, right, I'd say, Piers, you got to give me about 30 seconds, all right? Yeah. And we lost by 1.5 points. Right? Anybody else, I could tell you 5 people that would have won this election easily, even under those circumstances. It's like if the country wants something different, tell them you're going to give them something different. I tell them, and it's not disloyal. And people say, well, she's a very loyal person. I agree. Loyal to who?
Right.
If you're loyal to Biden, are you loyal to the party? Are you loyal to the voters? Are you loyal? I mean, when you say someone is loyal, okay, who are you loyal to? For what reason? And, it's in the title. There's a lot of Democrats. I can't believe these people exist, but I can assure you they do. They would rather lose on principle than have to compromise and win an election. And there's a word for these people. It is idiotic.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I've seen you say, you wrote...
100% true. James Carville has a good point there. They're idiots. Democrats are idiots. What do you guys think? Comment down below. What do you guys think about this topic?
The New York Times, after the election, we lost, it is, and always will be, the economy stupid. I don't dispute for a moment that the cost of living crisis raging through America at the time of the election and still going on now was obviously the key factor. But I would also say that the immigration issue was a huge factor. And I also think, although many Democrats want to try and downplay it, but you just touched on it there, one of the most successful ads in modern political history was Kamala's for they, them, Trump's for you. And I do think the whole woke stuff collectively, as Trump put it, a kind of abrogation of common sense, that also resonated hard with people. That they did actually think these things, like transgender athletes in women's sport, for example, which Kamala supported.
Yeah, you know what I say about that? We should say, if you're concerned about the state track meet, please do something about it. We have an athletic association that can do it. But if you're concerned with that, or you are concerned about bathroom stalls, then hang out in bathrooms. It is not of a concern to me. There are people that can deal with this. I'm worried about the cost of living. I'm worried about access to health care.
But I think, if you don't mind me saying, but James, I would dispute that. A lot of Democrats have tried to say to me, it didn't really matter, the trans stuff and the woke stuff. And I keep saying, I think it matters more than you think, that when Trump positioned himself as the voice of common sense, and you had a party led by Joe Biden and Kamala, who both thought it's fine for biological men to compete in women's sport, for example, that actually that was more powerful than people realized in the third tier of why they voted. Economy 1, immigration 2, woke mind virus 3, supported by Kamala Harris.
Faculty lounge, goofy academic language that
Yeah.
I have. So we went through that phase. We lost the election. So the answer of the identitarian left is, well, it didn't matter because no one ran on it, famously by Jon Stewart. Oh, look, somebody did run on it. See, in politics, the other side gets to play.
Correct.
If you're in comedy and you tell a bad joke, you just throw it away. In politics, all that. And Harris was for transition, taxpayer transition surgery for prisoners, okay? I reassured myself that's not my number one thing. Honestly, I don't think about it that much. In terms of the border, all of that is because Biden listened to the idiotic far left. And by the time that he left office, the border was a very orderly place. A lot of good it did us, but it's really true if you look at the crossing statistics. Every person in history that has listened, not just to the far left in the United States, but anybody in the West that pays attention to the far left has lived to regret it. These people have never been right about a single thing.
Absolutely.
Nothing.
You're completely right.
And they
He's 100% correct, guys.
keep running their mouths. And I'm reading this book on, and you should get this guy, Why Nothing Works. And the only thing progressive ever successfully killed is progress.
Right.
That's it.
Which is
That's
very
a
ironic.
Signature achievement. Yeah, it is. And I consider myself very much a liberal Democrat. People ask me how does it feel to be a moderate. I don't know, because I'm not. I'm very liberal. I believe we ought to use opportunity to help people. We should never discriminate against anybody. I even believe that there are certain groups who've been historically left out that we ought to give more of a helping hand to. I'm completely fine with that. But the idea that we were going to change dictionaries, we're going to change the world by changing dictionaries, is historically stupid, to put it mildly.
I mean, I thought it was very interesting that, look, your views are echoed by Bill Maher. I would position myself, actually, historically, with my own political views, pretty similar to you guys. Joe Rogan was certainly in that camp. Elon Musk was in that camp. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK. A lot of the people now in this cabinet around Trump were people who would have identified as Democrats previously. And it seemed to me that the Democrats, as they moved far left and into this more so-called progressive world, they lost a lot of people who thought this lacked any common sense.
Yeah, I don't even know if I guess it's leftist. It's just idiotic.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no, there are principles, I think.
Guys, do you guys agree with everything that James Carville was saying about the Democrats? Comment down below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thank you.